let's use ES6. Yeah, you can use ES6. Let's do that next. Okay, yeah, so as our colleague was suggesting here, instead of using this embedded function, which this lambda function here, we could instead use ES6. We could take this entire function, right, and map it and maybe put it inside of a dedicated function. Maybe give it a name, login, right? And in here, instead of using declaring it right here, we could just say login. Right, this would work exactly the same way. Let's verify we didn't break anything. Let's stop the server and restart. And here, if we refresh and say Alice Wonderland, notice that it still works the same way. But we could, instead of using the old syntax here, we could use the new syntax. We could say const login is equal to request rs, and is equal to that. And this would still work just the same, right? We can restart the server and verify that this still works. So if I refresh, notice that Alice Wonderland still is working. Make sense? All right. So yes, certainly you could use ES6. So what we'd like to be able to do is maybe declare an array of valid users. Maybe this will be const users, and this might be maybe we have Alice is valid and password not very secure, so it's going to have the same username and password. And Ho and Bob, same username and password. If I am a system administrator, maybe I like to be able to see all my users, right? So I can maybe do I can do app.get API, give me all the users. And then there might be a function that says find all users. Maybe this find all users going out to a database and retrieving all these, or instead just returning this entire array. So this is a request and the response. Oops. And just returning in the response sent back send back all the users, right? Again, ideally, only from a system administrator I would be able to list all the users, obviously, yes. And so so basically this API users is calling this function, which is basically sending back the entire array of users, yes. Now, if I know that my data that is going back is plain JSON, it's raw JSON, there's a better way of doing it. Instead of using this send, is to use the JSON function right here. This JSON function makes sure that the headers are correct, right? That the MIME types are correct. And so if I stop the server and reset it and run it again, if I go back and I do API users, notice that I am indeed getting the array of all the users. Yes. All right. So let's try and implement maybe login based on this mechanism.